Hi there, I'm Dark Shades, and today's video is about whether or not it's wrong to date a married man. Now, I could say from a moralistic standpoint, yes, it's wrong. If I'm thinking about putting myself in the place of a wife, I wouldn't like to know that somebody was sleeping with my husband. But then when you think about biblical times had lots of concubines, and it almost seemed normal for a man to have more than one wife or more than one woman. They just used to go around and they used to just go into her, as they put it. Next thing you know, she's pregnant, and that person could be married, or they gave their wife to other people and their husbands. They gave their husbands to other women if they couldn't have babies and stuff like that. So they didn't have this possessiveness in the Bible that they do today. Now today it's like, this is my husband, nobody else can have him. But supposing you meet somebody who doesn't have on a wedding ring and who seems to be the most perfect man in the world to you, and you start developing a relationship with him. Now, you don't know he's married. And, this can go on for months. I've known relationships that have gone on for years and they've not known that the person's married. They reckon that you can tell if someone's married because of Valentine's Day and Christmas and all those important holidays. But these men are slick. They can spend New Year's Eve with you and be back by Christmas Day, or they can make lots of different excuses why they don't have to be with their wives. And I often wonder why men do that. Why do men decide to have affairs? Why do they lie about being married? Are they not happy at home? Do they want to have their cake and eat it? I know in America, if they get found out cheating, they lose everything. I think in England, it could be the same thing too, but I don't think it's to the same degree. So, but as a woman, there are lots of different things that come into place, aren't there? Because if you think that you've got somebody who's calling you every evening and you don't know he's married, and you develop these feelings for him, and then you find out he's married. Do the feelings stop, or do you tell them it's over? And if they persist, what do you do? And if they're telling you a load of BS, does that mean you have to swallow it? I mean, a lot of times it really has to do with your moral compass and how you feel. You get a lot of women. I saw this video and this one was saying, of course, she only deals with married men. They treat her better. And I think married men, they probably got nothing to lose when they're dating you. So they just give you the best that they can possibly get. And I think probably when they have lovers probably treat them better than the wives, who are probably fed up of them and see all their bad ways that lovers don't always see. I mean, if you're a lover, you only get taken out and you go to hotels and you go here and you go there. Whereas a wife, you probably have to do the ironing, the washing, the cooking and all that kind of stuff. I mean, traditionally, things have changed from how they were traditionally. You don't really find women are so housebound anymore. They're out doing their own thing. And a lot of times, even the woman's having it off with someone else. So where's the fidelity? Where is the moral compass? Who's to say what's right from what's wrong? If you are to go based on your feelings and your intuition, do you go along with it even though you found out that he's married? Or do you break it off and think, think about the wife and think, I wouldn't like this, therefore I'm not going to do it? Or do you become selfish and say, look, he's treating me great. I don't know if I'm going to find somebody who's going to treat me this well. Therefore, I'm going to go along with it. I don't even know if it's a difficult one or an easy one. Some people will just say flat no. As long as he's married, I'm not dealing with him. And then another person will say, I didn't know he was married when I met him, and I'm not going to break off with him now. I love him too much. So, stuff the wife. And if the wife loves the husband, is she going to fight for him? Is she going to hold on to him knowing that he's sleeping with somebody else? How are the dynamics of that relationship going to play out? Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. There is no answer. I'm just putting it out there whether or not it's right or wrong to date somebody who's married. Personally, I'm against it if I was cajoled. But there again, I'll be honest with you. I was with somebody for a couple of years, and he told me he was widowed. And so we started having this relationship, and about 8 months into the relationship, he said, I've got a confession to make. We were living together. I don't even know how he managed it, because we were actually living together. But one day a week, he would tell me that he had to go and see his children, because, they used to live with him, and he wasn't supposed to be away from the home. Now, there's no way I could have known that he was still married. Anyway, about 8 months down the line, he says, oh man, I've got a confession to make. I'm not widowed. I'm separated. I'm like, what? And I was furious, absolutely furious. And I said, nah, this is done, this is over, blah, 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 blah. And he's saying, oh man, I had to be honest with you, blah, blah, blah. To be honest, we're getting a divorce. We're not together, blah, 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 blah. But you know something? It wasn't a divorce. I think what happened is, I think maybe he'd had a row with his wife at some point, teaching her a lesson or something, using me to teach her a lesson, and actually having a fully fledged relationship with me, even though he was married. And in those kind of circumstances, I can't be to blame because I didn't know. Had I known he was married, I wouldn't have gone out with him in the first place. You tell me you're married up front, it's a no-no for me, because I really don't see the point. I know men more than women are more likely not to leave their wives. Women, if they're fed up, they're more likely to jack it in and say, look, I've had enough, especially if they can sort themselves out and they're quite self-sufficient. A man, you literally have to kick him out by the tails before he leaves his wife. So he ain't going nowhere. But I don't understand why they feel the necessity to go out, have a fully fledged affair, you have to call it, with somebody under the guise that you are with that person, talking about, oh, we're going to get married and we're going to buy a house and blah, 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 blah. To me, that's the ultimate deception. And I can only believe that karma will come back on those people that lie to get what they want. But I have no guilt because I just didn't know. But there again, you do have people who really, really don't care if somebody's married. If a man is married, they'll go with him same way. As far as they're concerned, the better to have be the bit on the side. They call them side chick. They don't mind being the side chick. And they feel that they're getting the best of both worlds. They haven't got the hassle of the work or the nagging or doing all the housework and all that kind of stuff. But they have the benefit of getting a booty call every now and then and a little bit of attention. So I was just putting it out there. Yeah, and I'll leave it up to you to respond if you want to. The comments are below. And I know this will raise some kind of sparks, but hey, that's why I'm here. So this is Dark Shades, over and out.